Hello, happy people. It's Barefoot.
That's Buddykins. We're Barefoot and Buddykins. How are you doing? Nice to get back on the internet. It's been nearly 2 weeks now. We're on day 13 living here in Linea, which is just over the border from Gibraltar. We are sorry that we haven't been able to update people, but most people know that we've had difficulties with internet and having our phones due to the place that we were staying at. We're not there now. We've managed to move on, but we'll tell you a bit more about that in a few minutes. So, what have we been up to, Sarah?
Oh.
Wow. It's all been good. We've wrote a few notes because there's so much to catch up with, and we want to try and keep you up to date with everything that we've been doing. So, we've been in a hostel.
Yep.
Okay.
In a hostel.
When we first came out here, we booked a couple of nights in an ensuite hotel, like we told you before, and it was brilliant. It was nice. It was chill out time. It was, you know, get off the plane, try and acclimatise to the heat because it is totally different out here. It's a little bit warmer, would you say?
Oh yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
bit.
just a little
Just a bit. Yeah. Average temperatures. Go on.
Oh, 32 to 42.
Yeah. We've seen the 42, 43 degrees in the daytime, which, as you'll all know, is quite hot. Yeah. Yeah. Getting a bit brown. Yeah. I think we've changed the colour, bit of colour. You know, we've got a little bit tan since last time we spoke to you guys. Yeah. Highest temperature 42, which was bloody hot, to be fair.
It's not like we've been laid out sunbathing, is it?
No, we've not been sunbathing. We did get burnt at one point, our ankles and legs. Now that was an experience, wasn't it? We decided to walk up the beachfront in the afternoon. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, crystal clear water. So we thought, you know, true Brits as we are, we thought, we'll be brave, we'll go and have a look and we'll walk up the front. We took about, what, 2 steps on the beach and
Bare feet.
we was like chameleons. It was like, ow, 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 ow,
It
ow.
really was hot.
It was fucking hot, seriously. It was hot, it was so hot we couldn't bear it. We couldn't walk on the sand, we couldn't run on the sand.
Oh.
Culture shock, absolute culture shock. It was like, shit, we've got to do something about this because we wanted to spend time on the beach.
So the water was quite cold, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got to the seafront and the water was pretty unbearable, to be fair. It was so freaking cold. It was like hot sand, cold water. It was like swapping between the two.
It was so hot.
We walked all the way, I think, did we go down? We went from Linea down towards the custom border, didn't we, at Gibraltar, yeah? We walked that way. And it was literally sand, water, because it was too hot or too cold, so we had to try and regulate the heat. And by the time we got to the customs border at Gibraltar, we were fucking famished. We weren't dehydrated, to be fair, but we were hot. We were so hot, it was like, sweltering,
We still had to make that run for it, didn't we? To get off the sand.
To get off the sand from the seafront. There's about 50 yards.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about 50 yards from the water to the path. And to be fair, there's showers. There's cold showers, and there's like a wooden walkway from the seafront right up to the path. But even the wooden walkway was too hot to walk on. Yeah.
Very.
So we did have to make a bolt.
But the showers are welcoming.
The showers are welcoming. Nice. I think we did put a little video or something of you, or was it photographs of you washing your feet or something? You have 2 levels of shower. Just excuse me, I'm getting cramp. We're sat on the floor on the roof of our apartment at the moment. I say we'll talk about that more about that in a minute, but we found a bit of shade and thought we'd do a video. Anyway, going back to what we were saying, the showers are welcome. They're at about 18 inches high off the floor to do your legs and your feet to get rid of sand, and then there's one that's head height, you know, to cool your body off. So they was good. So yeah, that was good. Lesson learned. You have to be careful. In fact, I'm currently picking the skin off my ankles now because I'm peeling a bit. So that's one thing.
So we stayed there at the Monkey.
So we stayed at the Monkey Room for a couple of nights, didn't we?
And that was beautiful. It was nice at night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice. No mosquito problems or anything there. We was on floor 5? 8. Floor 8. So it was well up. We had a really good view of the rock, like you know, you've got some pictures of that. So we left the Monkey Room. We headed for the hostel that we had intentions of going to. And like we said when we set out on this journey, we're going to give you the true facts, everything, okay? And putting it bluntly, the hostel wasn't 100% what we had read about on the internet, but we'll tell you what it offers, what the downfalls are, but overall, we've survived, yeah, we've fed well. We had a bed to sleep in, and to be fair, we was quite surprised at what services are offered for people that have just moved into the country, that have nowhere to live. They're looking to find their feet, get a job, find accommodation, such like. So here's a few of the things, a few of the facts of what is on offer for these people, and that's, like I said, new tourists that want to move to the country and start a new life, like ourselves. It covers homeless people, people that are squatting. In Gibraltar, it's frowned upon. You don't squat properties, you are moved on, apparently. Begging, you don't do begging, you'll get arrested. Not as though we was going to do that, but we're just telling you what the score is out here. Across the border in Spain, you can squat places. It's not what we wanted to do because of cockroaches and mosquitoes, and we want to lead a reasonably decent life. We're not vagrants, we're not down and out, so to speak, but we're trying to make a low impact life out here in Gibraltar and Linea. So yeah, some of the good things. This hostel, right? Now I'm going to talk about hostel number 1, and I'm going to talk about the community project, the two different things. Okay, so bear that in mind. I'll start with the hostel, okay? The hostel that we went to, the good points are, A, you've got a nice clean bed, yeah? You're not sleeping on the streets, you're not sleeping in a squatted property or anything like that. You have security, yeah? To be fair, not as though it's needed, yeah? But you have a lock and key, okay? You're not in the open, okay? So if you've got any form of property like a rucksack with your belongings in or anything, it's safe as houses. It really is. So you've got a bed for the night. Now there is a downfall to that for a married couple. You're not allowed to stay together, which was like, whoa. 17 years we've been together, and we've always been together. And to be honest, it was like, do we really want this? Because we set out here together. Yeah? Come hell or high waters, what was going to happen? We was going to do it together. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good, bad, ugly, pretty, everything together. Okay? I have a slice of bread, Sarah gets half, and vice versa. That was the way it was going to be. So that in itself was a big what the fuck.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can you sleep in a bed on the opposite end of the or opposite side of the corridor to me sleeping in another bed on that side? And it was a big decision, to be fair, but we said yes, we'll do it, because A, we didn't 100% know the area, and we didn't want to take any sort of stupid risks, so we bit the bullet. We said, right, okay, these are the compromises that we knew that we would have to make, some compromises in order to get to where we wanted to be. So it wasn't what we wanted, but we did it. Okay, so you've got the bed for the night, yeah? We was really surprised when we found out that we got a breakfast, right? Now that can be toast with chocolate spread, jam, anything like that on it. Now we don't normally eat a breakfast. We're normally a one meal couple a day, yeah. But we soon got to find out that they thought we were ill, didn't we? It was like, why you not eat? Why you not eat? You know, and it's like, we don't eat. We eat once about, 5 o'clock at night, yeah? And they was like, you will? And I'm like, no, we don't eat. And it was like, hang on a minute, you know, we're going to have to try and eat to make these realise that we're normal people, you know? So we had breakfast and that. Like I say, toast, tea, coffee. The tea, I've started drinking black tea with half a sugar in. Absolutely beautiful out here. You know, the foreign tea, I think it's Spanish, I'm not sure, but foreign tea is lovely. There's no sediment in it and it's not bitter like English tea. The coffee, Sarah passed on because you get a jug of cold coffee. Yeah, it's like instant coffee made up and then gone cold. And if they want it hot, they'll just put it in the microwave. And I'm not a coffee drinker anyway. I haven't drunk coffee for years, have I?
Oh, I just happened to wait like 12 days.
You've waited 12 days to have a coffee, which is good going for Sarah.
I just drank water.
And water and Tango, was it?
No, it's Fanta lemon.
Fanta icy lemon. We found a new bottle of pop. Icy lemon's really nice, thirst quenching. So yeah, we had tea and toast for breakfast. We started having that, and it sort of helped, didn't it? It got us, you know, started in the day, you know. Now another thing with another downfall, I'm going to mix between the good and the bad, obviously, as we go through the day with this hostel. So you've had your breakfast. You're expected to make your bed, fair dues, you know, keep your bedroom clean, stuff like that. And you're actually sharing with another of the same sex, male, female. And they're okay, they're kind people, aren't they? They're nice people, they do the bit and everything, even though we couldn't speak fuck all of English.
We couldn't speak anything of Spanish, and it ended up where they actually still managed to understand what we wanted to say.
Very patient, absolutely very patient people. And as much as we tried to speak their language, they did the same. You know, they got the thank you very much bit off to a T, and please, and do you know what I mean? You know, all the basics. So they make the effort. Yeah, I'm getting cramp in that bloody leg now, sorry. So yeah, there was that equal mutual respect, which, yeah, that's good. We're not used to seeing that back in Scunthorpe, I'm sorry, but that's a fact, yeah? So that was a bit of a shock as well, wasn't it? So yeah, you make your bed and then you've got a job to do before you leave the hostel at sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, our job was to clean the bathroom, yeah? Excuse me. Clean the toilet, wipe the sink, wipe the mirror, and mop the floor, sweep and mop the floor. It's okay. To be fair, you know, we're not work shy. And at the bottom line, I see it as sort of a bartering system where...
Tit for tat, innit?
Say again?
Tit for tat, innit?
It is, tit for tat, absolutely.
They give something to you, you've got to give something back.
Yeah, we wanted to. We always said from the offset of this, if we find somebody who's willing to give us food and accommodation, then we will offer something back. We will work for them or whatever, and that's exactly what it was. Yeah, we was cleaning the bathrooms and that obviously are communal. It's what everybody uses, and they provided all the cleaning equipment, rubber gloves, mops, sweeping brush, everything. You know, so everything was good in that respect. Okay. So we had to leave about 9:30, 10 o'clock, yeah? That's if we didn't need to make a phone call or have a word with there was one English guy there called Tony. He was sort of a resident, but he worked for them as well, so I think he was like a live-in worker, so to speak. Excuse me if you can hear the motorbikes, we're actually sat on the roof, so there's a road right outside the front, Calais, Gibraltar. It's a main road into Gibraltar from Linea. So yeah, we left at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Now bear in mind that we only got our mobile phones about 9 o'clock after we'd done our jobs, because in the past they've had residents there that have just sat fucking about on the phones and not doing the jobs. So fair dues, rules are rules, you know. So then we get our mobile phone and we've got to leave. We've either got to use our mobile data, which is limited, obviously, on the go roaming scheme, and we've got to walk, because between 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock and 6 p.m, we've got a lot of work to do. You know, we've got to look for accommodation, we've got to look for a job. Not just one of us, both of us, yeah? So we've got to get CVs printed, we've got to dish them out, we've got to try and find people that speak fucking English.
And also we needed to find somewhere where we could do the washing,
Yeah.
where
Clothes washing.
yeah,
Because at the hostel number 1 that I've just told you about, they do the essentials like your sheets, your bedding, your towel, and that was it. Yeah. Oh, they even supplied pyjamas, which I was a bit like, never worn pyjamas. I'm a start bollock naked bloke, me. But I thought, right, fair dues, because we're in a room with somebody else, they might take offence at that. So, pyjamas for the first time in God knows how many years, yeah, which was a bit stuffy and a bit hot, because there was hot nights, yeah. And we got a few mosquito bites because the windows was wide open, and such like, you know. So yeah, we had to find somewhere, so washing facilities for our stuff. So we get told by a Nigerian lad that was in the hostel. He's age 21.
something like that.
He's 21, and he told us of a place to go where we could get our washing done. So I thought, right, fair enough. It took us about half an hour walk. Because to be fair, I mean, his walk was more of a crawl to us.
Yeah.
We was like ready for going, you know, and he's like, typical chilled out guy, listening to his music. Anyway, we gets there, we gets to this other place, which is the opposite side, because hostel number 1 is on the eastern side of Linea. The community support place number 2 is on the west side, so you've got a half an hour's walk, 20 minutes for us, but half an hour on the day to get there. So we gets there, we got introduced to an English, it's like a support worker, who was absolutely fantastic. Lovely guy. He's actually Spanish, but he speaks English. Now, he basically gave us an office to use to contact family if we needed it while we were there, which was limited again because don't forget we had to go job hunting and everything, but while we were there we had that facility. Now we took that facility, took that privilege to print off CVs, yeah, and we could reply to emails if we got them, stuff like that. He explained to us we could book in, there's a booking system to do your clothes washing, and it's 3 or 4 days wait, roughly.
Yeah.
So we said, right, book us in straight away, we'll get our washing done, because by then we'd got a few items that needed a scrub up, yeah, you know. So you get there, bearing in mind you're leaving the other place at 10 o'clock, you've already had your breakfast. At 10 o'clock till 10:30, hostel number 2, or community support place number 2, actually offer you more toast and tea and water. Right, so what we decided to do was forget it from hostel number 1 and just have a cup of tea, or drink of water in Sarah's case, but have our breakfast that little bit later, which was better for us, at the community support place. And it worked fine, yeah, because you can have all the bread you want, and it's all fantastic fresh bread. It's not like English bread either, it doesn't stick to your mouth, it's not the cheap crap from, it's not this cheap pound stretcher stuff sort of thing, it's lovely bread, yeah. And again, tea, lovely. So you go in there, have your breakfast, yeah, have your cup of tea, at which point you've got charging points to recharge your phone, your office to use that. He was good in translating anything that any information that people had for us, even if it was just a greeting, because they were so kind. You know, there was people from all walks of life. Like I said, I'll say it as it is. There was alcoholics, yeah? Not one bit of bad attitude from anyone.
That was lovely.
We presume, but we don't know, that there was drug addicts as well. But we never smelt any cannabis. No. We never saw any drug abuse. We never saw any bad behaviour at all, not an ounce. Yeah, and even those that you would look at and quite wrongly judge to be down and out, what we would judge as tramps in England, they were so kind. They would come up and they'd start talking. It'd be like, oh shit, we can't reply. We don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sorry. We didn't say that, but that's what you're thinking. Those that spoke pidgin English would try and help and say, oh, this man is saying hello, how are you, and vice versa, you know. Absolutely fantastic environment. It's a total culture shock to us, wasn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, it was.
We sat at the table, just going on a little bit. Dinner was at, or the main meal was at 1:30.
1:30 till 1:15.
1:30 till 2:15, I think. And
It wasn't
they
that
were a
bad.
meal. They were, that was a
really
meal.
wasn't that bad. I mean, it was more like a
Broth.
a broth.
Stew. Yeah, a big bowl of stew and all the fresh baguette bread you can eat. Now, this again, we've recently learned, this is not normal bread. This isn't made with yeast, it's made with sugar. Now, we're presuming, because we haven't asked, but we're presuming it's like a sourdough bread. Excuse me, but it's not heavy. It's not
heavy.
It's
no.
not tight and heavy like a sourdough bread that we've made in the past. It's really light, it doesn't stick to your palate, it's beautiful, and it's baked fresh every day. You don't keep bread overnight, you leave it, you bin it, or you eat it. You get fresh bread every day, yeah? And this was all free. It's all free. We didn't pay a penny for it, we didn't have to. They didn't want money, okay? The stew turned out to be, by one of our kind Facebook friends, explained to us it looked very much like a Moroccan, what's known as a Moroccan stew, and to be fair, it's bloody beautiful. Vegetables, potatoes, carrots, chickpeas, I think it was black pudding or something similar, and like a what we know as a pepperami dried meat type thing in it. And to be fair, it was a wholesome meal. Even you enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did, but I didn't eat the bits. But
You
I
didn't
ate
eat
the
the meat
potatoes
bits.
and what looks like baked beans, which is the chickpeas, and they are so filling. And they're actually okay. They're really nice.
Nutritious as well.
And it filled you up.
Yeah. They're relatively cheap. We've looked in the shops and chickpeas are relatively cheap, so we might look into making something like that, you know, like a stew or meat stew or something. So going on from there, we learned that we had a breakfast, a meal, and if we chose to stay, they shut at 3. They opened at 8:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and if we chose to stay, we could have had a snack, what they call a snack. I don't know what that'd be. Oh, by the way, we had fresh fruit every day as well. We either had a banana, an orange, a peach, or something like that. Which
oranges,
again,
I don't eat oranges, but the oranges were really nice.
out of this world. Yeah, the oranges were orange, not watery orange like they are in England.
Very juicy, but still
Very
nice.
juicy. You know, we got covered in it. Yeah, you had to enjoy it. You split it open and dived in. Do you know what I mean? It didn't matter that you had it all over your face. You just cleaned up afterwards. You know. Anyway, moving on. There, you can book in for your clothes washing. You do not do your washing. They do it for you, free of charge. You don't buy your wash powder, your Linea or the equivalent. You don't buy it. They put it in the tumble dryer so that it's done quick, so you can go home with it. If you get in late, there's no time to do it. If you put your washing in at 1, 2 o'clock, you haven't got time to wash it, or they haven't got time to wash and dry it, so they say, can you pick it up tomorrow? Fair dues. They have lockable facilities, so if you've got valuables, they'll lock it away safe, so nobody can get it. So if you are living on the streets, that's your safe place to keep things like money, passports, bank cards, if you've got a bank account, stuff like that. Leave it there, just in case you lose them, you know, or anything untoward happens, which, like I say, it's rare out here. Showers, you can book in and have a shower there as well, and they provide the washing facilities. Showers back at hostel number 1 as well, they provided razors, hygiene products, yeah, even for ladies for that time of the month, yeah, they provided that. Shaving foam, razors, shower gel, toothpaste and toothbrush, all provided free of charge, yeah. So, come on, guys. You don't get that in England. I've never seen it once. I may be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I've never seen such hospitality. I really haven't, yeah? And they made it quite clear that they do not want a penny. They don't want a penny. They want to help us make it, yeah? So, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, right? Not so good was the language barrier, okay? It caused frustration. When you're in a new country, 2 new countries, because you swap from border to border, you're in a new country, you're trying to make it, you want to learn everything, you want to know where to get the cheap, good quality food, you want to get accommodation and work and everything. When you've got a language barrier, you're fucked. I'll say it as it is.
You think you are.
You've got that, right? Google Translate has saved us a lot of time and a lot of frustration, and people were so over the moon that we said, you speak into this, and they didn't know what the fuck we were talking about, so I showed them, and then showed them the translation. They're like, oh, whoa, yeah.
Found that they all had it at the end, didn't they? They all downloaded it.
Yeah, and then people downloaded it, and when they saw us come in, it'd be like, oh, buenos dias, which is good morning, you know, and they fucking type stuff and show us, you know, so we learnt them something, which, yeah, that's what it's all about. So the not so good was hostel number 1 out of 10, back for 6, yeah? Now when we came back at 6 o'clock, bearing in mind the day was spent walking, we worked it out about 5 or 6 miles a day, walking from one place to another for such and such a service, to put our CVs into various places, to go view properties, to go looking, you know, on the search, yeah? But we were time restricted all the time because we weren't running, don't get me wrong, but we couldn't really enjoy our environment, you know, and that's why there was only a few pictures, you know, because when you see something fantastic, it's like, fuck it, get your phone, quick, snap, save, carry on walking, snap, save, carry on walking, and then I'd upload 5 or 6 pictures and just do a brief description. But 6 o'clock you're back at hostel number 1, because if you're not back there, they're the rules at the end of the day, you know. You go back there, you're straight in for a snack, yeah. Now that can be a drink, tea, coffee, water.
They do provide cakes one day.
Cakes.
Instead of having like bread or toast or anything like that, you can just have a few cakes if they bring them in.
And I'm not joking, how many was there? 6 or 7 of us at that time. And they put out, I would say, 5 or 6 boxes of cakes. And I mean boxes with like 8 donuts in. And then another one was a slab of what I would imagine as it's like a Madeira cake. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, with a sugar topping on. Basically foreign cakes, Spanish cakes, their delicacy, you know. So it gave me the opportunity to try new foods. And that was nice. That was lovely. Donuts were pretty much the same as ours in England, but they had like a thick icing on with little crunches on top and, you know, fancy cakes, yeah. They do like the cakes, they do like the sweet stuff,
got
yeah.
Sweet tooth, haven't they?
They have got a sweet tooth. They've got what I would class as not as spicy as in chilies and curry, but a herbal taste and a sweet tooth. So they've got the opposite scale, you know, and they love the fruit as well. I mean, fruit, they'd put a big box of a tub of pears, peaches, with about 20 pears in. It was help yourself, and it's all fresh, yeah.
But again, it was time.
So
as well,
you get in, you have your snack. Now we thought on the first day this was tea, and we was happy, only to find out you have a main meal about 8 o'clock at night. It's like, what the fuck, we're stuffed, you know, because we weren't used to eating that much stuff, and they thought we were ill again, didn't they? There was like, you know, eat, and I'm like, not hungry, and it's like, you must eat, you know. Now we learned that the Spanish, it's their culture to drink wine and to eat. That's the two main things that they do. And if you don't do that, they think you're ill. They don't think you're being rude, they just think you're ill, and they want to try and help if you're ill. We weren't fucking ill, we were full. So the first meal, I've got to be honest, it was like, if this is what we've got to eat, I can't do it. It was hake, H-A-K-E, fish. And
No.
I'll eat fish, but that was really strong, and it was like, and it was like a Mediterranean rice dish, wasn't it? So I ate that.
You ate, like, you had a go at everything.
I had to go at everything, to be fair, and most of the stuff was okay. There was pizzas with olives on, green olives, don't like them, black olives, beautiful. So there's a difference, yeah? So yeah, so you get in at 6, you have your snack, then you've got to do
Shower.
a job.
So,
Yeah, so you've got showers to have, okay? You must have a shower, which is fine because you're hot and sweaty. We've learnt that this is, Gibraltar and Linea is the second most humid city in the world, the first being Singapore. Now, we did notice, even though it's hot, it's damp. Your clothes feel damp a lot of the time, yeah? So you're airing them off whenever you can. And like your bath towel, after you've had your shower at night, you put it outside to dry, you go for it in the morning and it's still damp, you know? So yeah, you have your shower and then you have another job, so cleaning the bathrooms and stuff like that. By which time, after you've had your shower, you have your main meal, and so, you know, 2 of the guys went off and washed the pots while we cleaned the bathroom. That was their job. By the time you get to fucking sit down, you're looking at 9 o'clock gone, they're taking the phone off you.
yeah.
And there's no free internet there. It's a data protection thing, so you use your mobile phone, mobile data. So as soon as you're on, you've only got a few minutes to upload your pictures, put a brief description on. You haven't got time to contact everyone.
It was frustrating.
This was really frustrating because, you know, our kids quite rightly didn't understand this, and they thought that we was just swanning around having a whale of a time. We weren't.
No.
Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful country, beautiful people, and we do enjoy it here, we love it here, but it was work. To us, trekking around, looking for a place is work, and that is a priority. We can't sit there, you know, chatting all day, simple as that, yeah?
We just couldn't do it.
So that was it.
Yeah.
Phones off us, and they gave us about an hour to sit outside and have a smoke. If you smoke, I don't, Sarah does. And then it was bed at 10, half 10. Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Which to us is early because we're like 2 a.m. to bed, you know.
Yeah,
But we got used to it because we were up at half 7, 8 o'clock the next morning, and then the same routine again.
yeah.
So that's where it was. We're not there now, okay? We've met a guy from London who owns a property, and he rents out rooms. He's a fantastic guy. He's a Londoner. He speaks English and Spanish, so he translates. He's a hub of information. He's given us ideas for work, where to get cheap food, yeah, so that we can eat the sort of things that we eat as well as the foreign food, yeah. Sorry, I'm moving it about again. He's a fantastic guy. I could sit and talk to the guy all day, yeah. He's told us about work opportunities that we're going to, you know, approach. He usually does short-term lets, like the Monkey Room, of anything from one night to a week. And when he knew the predicament that we were in, he said, no, you're not doing that. If you've got the money to come here, I will reduce the rent, yeah, if you want it long term. What a blessing, yeah? So we said, what do you usually charge, knowing that it was 20 quid a night, and it was like, can't really afford that for long, you know. But we didn't tell him that. We said, what would you consider? And he did a quick calculation, yeah? 15 quid a night. All in. For both of us, all in. Our own lockable room, shower facilities, cooking, washing, electric, internet, the lot. All in for 15 quid a night. What more can we want?
Just a bit of money in our pocket.
It really is as simple as that, yeah? Now we've got enough money to keep this going for a short while. We pretty much guarantee we've got enough money to keep us going until we find some sort of work. Not only through the determination and the miles that we've walked and the CVs we've put out, but the connections that this guy has. Because he's told us of a few places that are taking on pretty much all the time, yeah? With really good prospects of, what's the word, promotion, yeah? Can you reach? And he's putting his feelers out all the time. So it looks like we've made it, guys, yeah? If we haven't, we're not worried. We have the hostel. We have the place where we can go to get food. They have their own gym, for fuck's sake. Do I look like a health freak? Not a bit, no. But there's gym facilities there, free of charge.
That's at the other place, isn't it?
That's at place number 2. You don't get this anywhere in England as far as I'm aware, yeah?
They
doesn't
even,
exist.
They even offer, like, clothes if you've not got
Footwear.
clothes, got footwear.
Yeah, if your shoes are fucked, they will buy you some.
Well, they don't buy them, they've got them.
They have them supplied by donations from local companies, yeah? And they won't see you go barefoot, even though I love going barefoot, yeah? I couldn't have walked all these miles barefoot. My feet would be bleeding, yeah? So, come on, guys. Where would you rather be homeless and struggling, yeah?
I mean, there's something else as well, like, at a weekend, this place number 2 does not open, like Saturday and Sunday, but on a Friday, if you put your name on the list...
You have to register for this service, free service, yeah?
Yeah, and then you put your name on the list between Monday and Thursday, and then on Friday, they give you a big bag, and
Carrier bag?
A carrier bag, so that it lasts you for the weekend. Like, what was it we had in it? It was a breadstick, it was a tin.
Hang on, you had 2 breadsticks each, if I remember right.
Well, it was one each.
One each?
Yeah.
Right, a breadstick.
Yeah.
2 big tins of peaches. Peach pieces. And I've got to be honest, they were fucking nice. They were really nice, yeah. Now, there comes a problem. Because if you haven't got a tin opener,
No.
and hostel number 1 will not allow you to take your own food in. So, what could we do with it? Apart from eat the fucking stuff, we couldn't eat all that.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
going back to the list. Breadstick, French stick or whatever, baguette.
3 milkshakes on it.
2 big tins of peach bits, yeah. What was that?
2 milkshakes, chocolate milkshakes that we
This is each. We got a
This
bag
is
each,
each.
yeah. So 2 chocolate milkshakes each, a litre of UHT milk each.
There was like tuna, 3 tins
Right,
of tuna.
we had 4,
Maybe
5, 4 because there was 3 in a
Yeah, there was
thing
quite
and then 1.
separate.
So we got 4 tins of tuna each, yeah. We're not really
I
big
don't eat
tuna
fish.
eaters, so we bartered them with somebody. What else was there?
I think they-
All in all, the carrier bags were full,
yeah, and it was quite
and that
heavy
was
to
free.
carry.
And that was free. So we could actually, we are entitled to get that now. Excuse me. So even though we're living here, right, and don't forget, this support place number 2, even if you own your own home, if you can't afford to eat because you're paying your rent, you go there and you get food. In fact, most of the people there were better dressed than us, and I'm not joking. I mean, we respectful people. They had brand new clothes, Nike, Adidas. I know branding shouldn't make a difference, but it gives you an idea of what people use.
Cars, don't they?
Say again?
A few of them had their own cars.
They had their own cars. They had their own motorbikes, mopeds, stuff like that, and they were still using this service, this facility. Yeah. So moving on, we're at 40 minutes video now, so we don't want to bang on for too long. Just bear with us a minute. You talk away while I'm...
Well, I'm just thinking.
Right, the carrier bag. Oh, there was cakes in that carrier bag as well. You get sweet stuff as well. And that's supposed to last you sort of over the weekend because that facility's shut Saturday and Sunday, okay?
To say they do open on a bank holiday as well, so...
Yeah, they don't shut for Christmas or anything like that. Bank holidays are open. It's only Saturday and Sunday that they're closed. Every other day they're open. So we're now in a room, we've explained that. Big things, language barrier everywhere. Now this is a big thing because 30 years ago when I lived in Gibraltar, I've got to be honest, when I came to Linea, and I didn't see much of Linea, I just sort of edged my way a little bit in. Most people could speak some form of English. Not now. Not now. The guy here, the landlord, has explained why. Back then, they were expected to learn English in order to get jobs and stuff like that. Now, it's predominantly Spanish and they don't have to learn English, so why the fuck should they? And do you know what, guys? I agree. Us, as English, are fucking lazy. Yeah? We don't see why we should speak another language. Why should we expect them to speak English? And I've got to be honest, I've started watching the basic YouTube videos, and with his help, and with the guy from project number 2, he's even said he's going to teach us Spanish at our speed, at our level. The landlord here said it took him 2 years and he's fluent now. I don't care whether it costs me takes me 10 years. I am going to make that effort as a human being to communicate with these lovely people. Why should we expect them to speak our language? So language barrier currently is a little bit of a problem. Gracias, muchas gracias, buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenas noches is good morning, good afternoon, good night. All these things are coming already. Yeah. Now, to me, these are essential to be nice people. We can say good morning to them. Some of them do understand. But if they don't understand, they'll wonder what the fuck we're talking about. I want to say good morning to them in their language, yeah? And we do get that back. Muchas gracias. They reply with a word, nala. Nala, which is you're welcome. Yeah, I think that's what it is anyway. Somebody might be able to correct me on that one. So, language barrier. Work prospects now, within the last day or two, are rising. Yeah, because of the contacts that we're getting through CAS, which is the name of the bloke here. Absolutely lovely people. Weather, we have had rain, by the way. You wouldn't believe it, we've had rain.
Not much, but...
But it lasted for a few seconds, yeah. It was like...
Probably well.
Was that a seagull pissing on my head? You know? No, it was rain. It was like, there's no clouds, yeah? So as soon as it hits the floor, it's gone, you know? We have learned that in February, because at the doors outside here, there's it's like a barrier. You have to climb over to get in the house. And I said, what's this for? Keep cockroaches out? He says, no. He says in February it fucking rains, yeah? And he says this street is like a little river. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. We didn't know that, but what the hell? For 1 week in a year, I don't care. I really don't care. I'll probably want to swim in it, yeah? You know, because it is fucking hot. Look, it is hot. We are getting tanned, aren't we? So the weather is absolutely gorgeous. I think you explained the temperatures, didn't you? Evenings, we went out on the beach last night. Some of you might have seen the comment about the smugglers. We saw 6 smugglers smuggling. Yeah, it could have been tobacco, could have been cigarettes, could have been hashish, because Morocco is the place that they make it. Yeah, it's produced there, and we've learnt that, you know, the beaches local to us is the gateway to Europe. Simple as that, yeah? And we'd heard about this, but to see it with your own eyes
and hear it
is amazing.
And
it really
is.
is.
See
yeah?
the police coming after him.
The police were chasing them or trying to find them.
I think they found them.
And they didn't get them.
No.
Yeah? And the speedboats went about 25 yards out from the sand for one reason. because the police boat can't get any closer. So they're crafty sods, they really are. And they sped up, must have delivered. 10 minutes later you saw them going home, so you know they did their drop. We've also learned that they get 50,000 euros each to drive those speedboats up and down. It's big business, guys. Yeah, drugs will never be eradicated. It's one of those facts of life. Yeah, we are going to go to Morocco at some point and we're going to see it made. Okay, some of you know that we do smoke it. We are not drug addicts, we are not bad people. We smoke it like somebody will have a beer, yeah, to relax. Yeah, and to be fair, we've had one, right, since we moved here, and it is the purest, most beautiful stuff. It is not hard drugs. It is relaxant. You can enjoy yourself. It's not addictive. It's moreish, to be fair. It's moreish, but it's not addictive. We're not going to beat around the bush. Some people it's not good for. Yeah, it can cause mental problems. Yeah, to us it helps us relax, not as though we need it now. In England we did. Over here we can take it or leave it, like you would going out to have a glass of wine or a pint of beer or 7. Yeah, we try that now and then. Yeah, and it is far better because it's purer over here. It's not been messed about with or anything. Yeah, but that was an experience. Okay, we don't we don't condone illegal use. Okay, it's tolerated in Spain. It's not tolerated in Gibraltar. You learn where you go. The countries that you go, you learn the laws first. Don't fuck about, guys. Don't do things if you know or don't know whether it's going to land you in jail. Don't fucking do it. Simple as that. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Don't. It's a risk. It's not worth the risk. You watch a programme called Banged Up Abroad and you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah? Which brings me to another thing, and I'm going to let Sarah tell you about this. What? Smuggling. Gibraltar. Bus stops. Oh, go for it.
Alright, so we just crossed the border and we're walking down to the bus stop, and there's a little bus shelter and a little shop next to it, and you can buy fags from there, no problem. And inside the
price wise, cheap.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Tax free.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
$2.30 a pack, something like that. Yeah. $2.10 a pack.
Yeah, and then
20.
As you're just walking past the shelter, you can actually see loads of people wrapping themselves up in tape.
Women mainly.
And they're helping each other shove all these fags and everything down their backs and down their fronts and
down the waists.
It's like that shelter is just for that.
It's supposed to be a bus stop, and I'm not kidding you guys. It's meters, literally a few meters away from the border. This is common. We've seen it virtually every day, and we didn't know what they was doing for a start.
No. And
like fuck, we knew what they was doing.
I saw these reels of tape that just sat on the side. I'm like, what? And then as you're walking past, they are filling themselves up with it all.
If any of you have watched the film with Robert Carlyle in, where he's smuggling hash in...
Is it Book?
No. Train Spotting, where he tapes all the hashish blocks, the 9 bars round his back and that's exactly what they do with cigarettes here. And we was talking to Kaz about this last night. He says it's common and you can make anything up to 60 quid a day just by doing that, and you'll see it more at rush hour, obviously, because you can just walk through, and there's a couple of shacks literally a few meters the other side of the border where you just untape yourself and sell them. That's it. People make a living doing this. Yeah. When I was out here 30 years ago, I did it 2 or 3 times. I didn't go to the trouble of fucking taping them to my body. I just put them in the middle of my rucksack and put all my clothes around it, yeah? And I got through. And I do believe back then I was making £7 profit on every 200, I think, yeah? Now, £7 to feed yourself, because I was squatting back then, 30 years ago, I was just living with another load of guys rent-free, so there's no rent to pay. £7 is enough to feed yourself in Linea. I got a meal last night from a supermarket, and I tell you what, it was like a Sunday dinner. 4 sausages. Yeah, there was like the Richmond sausages, weren't there? Yeah, big fat sausages. 3 rashers of bacon, a heap of tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes that have been fried, carrots, mash, baked beans. I think that was it, wasn't it? All in a tray, hot, ready to eat, fork provided, for £1.
€1, actually. No, it was.
It was £1.
It was £1.
It was £1 because it was Gibraltar side. This was Gibraltar side of the border, in a supermarket called Eroski. It's the Waitrose. Basically, it's a Waitrose, yeah. But yeah, for £1. So I bought it. I'm not a mash eater. I binned the mash, had a few carrots, binned them, ate the beans, and put the sausage, bacon, tomatoes, and I cut a bit of cheese, and I put it in a baguette. And I tell you what, it was a meal among meals. It was beautiful, yeah, for £1. That would have done me for the day, honestly. But when you're getting free toast and that, why not, you know? So, guys, we're going to wrap it up for this video anyway. We're so pleased we'll be able to update you a little bit more now because we're not restricted. 51-minute video. We didn't expect it to be this long, but sorry, we've had so much to come out, you know?
But it all had to come out.
Just to let you know, we're sat on the roof. I did tell you, we're sat on the roof. It's a flat, like a veranda. It's huge. We could have a party up here if we wanted to. There's room for about 20 people up here. This is for our use as well. We can spend all day up here if we want. Kaz isn't bothered. Obviously we're not because we've got work to do. What more could we want? You know, it's shaded here, but you do get a lot of the sun at the
day.
beginning of the day.
What we wanted was low cost living.
Low impact, low cost living. Just a quick one. If you want to know what it's like out here, stick with us. Yeah, subscribe to the channel because we're learning by the day, and not once, to be fair, are we disappointed. We've been asked, would we consider moving back to England? No. No. That's not.
I don't mind going for a holiday.
That's not because we don't miss people. Of course we miss people. We have the beauty of the internet to keep in contact with people, yeah? So don't think we don't miss you. We do.
Yeah, we do.
We fucking miss all of you, okay? But living, guys, not a chance. We have no intention to go and live back in England because I tell you what, if you lose your home and you have no job, right, and it's a common factor that nobody is safe, okay, not even a bank manager. Anybody is only 4 weeks away from bankruptcy. You'll fucking lose the lot. We was there. We knew. You know, we had an insight into what's going on in that country. You know that. We was courageous enough to say, not anymore. We've got to find an alternative. And trust me, Guy, we've found an alternative because I swear, if we can't find work, if we are left without this place, yeah, we have the safety and security of not only these 2 places, these 2 community projects, but the people, the culture. If you're willing to be nice people and you're willing to be a community-led environment, you will never go hungry. I mean that. That is something that was the biggest thing that we've learned since we've come here. Why the fuck would we want to go back to a place that's got nothing to offer these people? And believe me, if I could change the world, I would. If we could have helped the homeless people, and I mean on a permanent scale like they're doing over here, I would, and so would Buddykins. We tried and we couldn't get anywhere. There's a couple of soup kitchens in England, 1 night a week. That's no good, because believe me, it's getting worse, yeah? We have an update to give you guys regarding Brexit, yeah? We've learned something that we have made it out here at exactly the right time. I ain't going to go into it now because we're running out of time. We're nearly at an hour. stay tuned. Yeah, this is important information, and believe me, we feel so safe and so secure. Bring Brexit on. Whatever happens, we don't give a fuck. Politics, we've never cared about it. We know we should, but we don't, because predominantly they're in it for themselves. They do not care about you. They do not care about me. The people care about you, and the people care about us. Believe me. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
We thought this before we came out here. We now know it. We now know it. If we can't speak their language, and yet they will give their hind leg to help you. Come on, guys. It's time to wake up and enjoy life like we are. Yeah? Smiles. A week ago, there wasn't so many smiles because we were, I'm not going to say lost, but we were frustrated. Yeah? But stick with it. Trust this. That's exactly what we're doing. We don't know what tomorrow brings, but we have faith. We have a bigger faith than any religion. We have a bigger faith than anybody can tell us. It's in there. You've all got one. Use it. Use it. Humanity is the key. It really is. Isn't it? Keep your chin up, guys. We'll catch you soon. Love from Barefoot and Buddykins.